What's up, guys? Ken Kaplan from the New England Motorcycle Museum. We're on the dance floor here, which seems an appropriate spot to display the sexiest motorcycle of quite possibly of all time. This is a Ducati 916, an immediate cult classic when it came out. It was embraced by movie stars and anybody who could afford it, really, because everybody wanted one. Let's just face it. So this particular model has only 3,950 miles. It's part of a private collector's collection and was donated to the New England Motorcycle Museum along with two Ducati F1s. Probably one of the most unselfish things anybody's ever done for the museum. A gentleman donated 18 motorcycles here. We're selling them to hopefully raise the funds to finish this first floor. We need to put the bathrooms down here, and we're building a gift shop and cafe bar on this first floor here. So hopefully someone will buy this and leave it here on display in the museum. The bike is original, except for the upgrades it has. As I said, a Yoshimura RS3, carbon fiber and stainless steel exhaust system that makes a music to my ears. And look at the rear shock, Kenny, if you can zoom in on that. This has the Öhlins rear shock on it. The 916 is a single-sided swing arm. We just put a brand new gold chain on it. The original chain on it was in good shape, but with 3,950 miles, we're a dealership, and I just had to do it. I had to put that gold chain on there. It's a DID. It's a top-of-the-line gold chain. So this thing's just beautiful. I went online, checked some of the auction results to see what these are trading for, because we haven't sold one of these yet. And they're all over the place. Some of the ones at the Mecum auction are approaching, depending on the model of the 916. Here's one for $23,650. That's the Senna, the gray one. A couple of SPSs were in the $12,000 to $14,000 range, and it looks like the regular 916, the SPS 916, is trading in somewhere around the $10,000 range. But if you look at the Mecum results, they're anywhere from, on the low end, $9,350, and on the high end, $22,000. So they're all over the board. So in any event, this one is the gentleman who owned this bike had a on-staff mechanic that maintained all his bikes. It was plugged into a tender. It was in a heated garage along with a row of stunning motorcycles and classic cars. So it was well cared for. It was one of over 70 motorcycles. So obviously he didn't ride it much because he had so many bikes. He bought it because he always wanted one, and did his thing, rode it, and made a decision to donate it to the museum. So the engine on it is a fuel-injected, liquid-cooled four-stroke, 916 cc's, as the name implies, 90-degree V-twin desmodromic engine, made it to a 6-speed manual transmission, and has 109 horsepower and 90 foot-pounds of torque. Now, that's a lot of horsepower for a bike this light. So the Ducati managed to achieve something very few other bikes have ever managed. It transcended the boundaries of the market and gained universal recognition and praise from both motorcyclists and non-motorcyclists alike. There's just something about the look of this bike. It is this fact that makes the 916 such a standout motorcycle and a major reason for its iconic status. So fashions change, but this Ducati still looks great today. It's a timeless classic like the Porsche 911 or other automotive things like that. Riding a 916 remains a very special experience, and I wish we were riding it today, but if you look outside, we've got an ice storm. The schools are closed today. Christy actually stayed home from work, and it would be treacherous to ride this bike outside today, much to my disappointment, because I would have loved to have ridden this thing with a helmet cam on for you guys. So unfortunately, it'll probably be long gone before the nice weather returns here in the spring. So the focused riding position on the bike at slow speed, it may be a little awkward, but once you get going fast, I can tell you from my experience under Ducatis, the wind holds you up, and it's exactly where you want to be when you're doing 100+ miles an hour, when you're doing the ton. The fit and finish on this bike is, in my opinion, I'm a judge for the Antique Motorcycle Club of America. I judge shows we have here at the museum. I'm the museum curator. I see a lot of bikes come and go, but come take a look at this. Look at this, the tail fin, how beautiful the paint is, how polished and beautiful the carbon fiber is. This bike is a #1 bike if I've ever seen one. 3,950 miles on it. It just went through our detail shop. It's got a nice coat of hand-waxed Carnauba wax on here. Has the carbon fiber tank protectors, the gold gas cap, the anodizing on the fork caps and the steering dampener, the DLC coating on the steering dampener. The Brembo disc brakes with the gold rotors, just stunning. And it all plays nicely off the yellow and gold Olin shock. Just a beautiful piece. So the Ducati tracks beautifully and feels rock solid at well over the ton. I can tell you from experience because I had a 900 SS, which was a little brother to this one. So it's a wonderfully visceral riding experience, and you get the booming V-twin soundtrack, which the Yoshimura exhaust really adds a lot to it because the stock exhaust is a little bit more restricted. So with this carbon fiber exhaust, just stunning piece, probably gives you a few extra horsepower. So one of the best riding experiences you'll get on any motorcycle from the 90s, and will rival many of the bikes today. Certainly, it'll turn heads everywhere you go. So you can never predict if the physical attractiveness of a vehicle will be a success, but the 916 designer Massimo Tamburini certainly had a good start. So he had already created the Momoda Ducatis, and he based the 916 on two surefire winning themes: sex and performance. So this is about as sexy as a bike possibly could be. If you're looking to buy one of these low mileage examples, now command strong prices. So I expect we'll have a lower reserve on this, but I'm sure this one will bid up because look at the gauges on it. Look at the original windscreen on it. Look at the just the fit and finish of the overall thing. It's like a brand new motorcycle. So viewed from above, from the top, looking down from the gas tank, give me a top-down view. The 916 has a silhouette of a voluptuous lady with a thin waist and ample other proportions, which is no coincidence. And certain other design features were used purely for aesthetic appeal. Ducati had no plans to endurance race the 916, so the use of a single-sided swing arm was simply for looks, and it definitely works. Where Tadeo Baba refused an inverted fork on his Fireblade, Tamburini went for it, and that's the difference between the Japanese and Italians when it comes to design. The 916 styling was heavily influenced by the final look of the bike and the colors and everything. Everything works together. So the three-spoke 916 wheels were built by Brembo, as were the brakes, and it's just a stunning piece. So if you have any questions about this bike, give us a call, 860-454-7024. I was about to give out my cell phone. Bike has 43mm adjustable Showa upside-down forks, and of course the Olins in the rear, dual headlights, a single seat, a full fairing, a windscreen, and clip-on handlebars. So that summarizes the specs of the bike. The color, the white number plates on the back here, look at the netting inside there, whatever you want to call it, the mesh airfoil. It's just a stunning, beautiful piece of the 916 logo. I mean, this is a bike that belongs in the museum. It's 23 years old. It's achieved classic status at 20 years. The bike is a #1 bike in every way, shape, and form of the word. This is a #1 bike. It's as good as it's going to get, and it's tuned to perfection. The previous owner only ran non-ethanol fuel in the bike. We added a gallon of VP in it. We use VP, non-ethanol fuel. I do not recommend pump gas in a bike unless you're going to run it daily because the ethanol can wreak havoc on it. So from the Olin shock to the beautiful fit and finish and paint job on this bike, to the brand new gold chain on it, the Brembo disc brakes, the tires are 95%. These are the Michelin Pilot tires, Brembo brakes, Olin shock, Ducati. Need I say any more? This is as good as it's going to get, folks. If you want a classic 916, this one is Kaplan America approved. I'll put my name on this one. I wish I could keep it. I wish we didn't have to sell it because I'd love to ride this thing this summer, but we've got a lot of overhead here on the museum, and the only income we have is the sale of motorcycles and museum tickets, and at $10 a piece, that doesn't pay for the $7 million facility. So if you have a motorcycle you want to donate to the museum to either allow us to sell it to raise funds to continue the museum or to be permanently on display, we would honor your request, whatever direction you want to go with it. We are a 501c3, so you will get a tax-deductible donation for your consideration.
We can ship this one anywhere in the world inexpensively. Domestic transport, message your zip code for a quote. It's roll on, roll off, fully insured, licensed, enclosed transport with one of our recommended transporters anywhere in the world, from our door to your port. Roll on, roll off, shared container service inexpensively with experts that will help you with customs clearance, etc. So,
just to be clear, if on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, this bike's a 10. If you're going on a 1 through 5, 1 being the best, this is a 1. No matter how you slice it, it's perfection. So rarely do we see bikes, rarely do I get the opportunity to have a bike like this come to the museum that we get to ride, and usually they're bikes that, vintage bikes that have to be resurrected to be a number 1. This one came in a number 1, and it's a no excuses bike, and someone's going to be real happy when they turn the key on this. So good luck bidding on this. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year. And God bless America. Hold the mic, please.